It's the 29th of September. The leaves are starting to wither. There are still some flowers growing, I'm amazed. But for the most part, it's like somebody's flipped a switch since autumn, and it's been a week almost of autumn, and you can see the leaves have really started to wither out here and die up. So because of that, I think it's time for me to start harvesting, and today I'm going to go through a lot of this, if not all of it, and collect all the pumpkins. I won't be taking them all home. There's no way I can, because I have only one backpack. So I'm going to move them to the center of the garden and maybe stack them over here on my log. I'll just have to move some stuff around. But I'll get some pumpkins harvested and take a bunch of small ones home, and get out here maybe next week with a car and take the rest home somehow. So my plan today is to do this, and I've got a lot to do, so I'll get going. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll just move on in here so you can see how dead the center is. So it seems like closer to the beginning, everything has died faster, whereas further from the furthest points of the vines are still quite alive. And you can see that illustrated there, where they've climbed over that and gone up that tree over there. Still quite alive, but the same vine here is just dying. The wind was blowing the other night. Must have snapped that vine. This pumpkin's no longer hanging, and it sat perfectly on top. It didn't roll down, and I'll have to check out the bottom, see if it's split open or not. All these other ones in here look good. I'm going to start here by harvesting inside the garden and put the pumpkins on that cloth there, and then move to the outside and start bringing pumpkins in. So I'll show you in a while. Okay, it's time to put the gimbal down and get to work on these things. That's a pretty big pumpkin. It'll probably never turn orange. I'll cut it off right under that. First pumpkin harvested from the hanging garden there. So here's all the pumpkins I could reach from the inside, starting from the entrance pumpkin that I filmed at the beginning today, sitting there at the end of the Q-tail. And so this is all from the inside. Some fairly large mature pumpkins, lots of little guys. Those ones will fry up really nice like a zucchini or a squash, a young squash, summer squash. And of all of them, just one orange one and these two big guys. I might have a bigger one out front. Anyway, this is just from the inside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and a baby. And two other little babies there, which are going to be fried up in breakfast with eggs. So that's the inside. Let's get going on the outside now. Well, I'm not done yet. This is from the outside edge here where I stomped around about to that blue string, and then out where you see I'm stomping out there. And I think I've got probably about 6 or 7 more pumpkins, maybe more. I don't know what's in there. So just looking here though, I can see one down in there. There might be a couple more in there. There's a big, very jungly section. I know I've got a pumpkin right under there. I can make it out just a bit. And I have this one and this one that's been chewed on. This one I might actually leave for the animals because I haven't done that yet today. There's like another tiny one there. And I know I have a big one sitting in right in the center of the screen in there. And there's another really big one damaged by slugs that's sitting over there out in the deep stuff. And maybe those vines that jumped over the top of those weeds made a few more pumpkins. We'll pull them all back and find out in a minute. I'm having a small break. That's quite a bit of vine that I pulled back in and threw in the swale. So, oh, there's a pumpkin right there. I didn't even see that one. So, yeah, we're looking at about maybe 6 or 7 more. Just so you don't think I'm fibbing, this is the inside garden harvest, and I'll show you the outside now, the total. A lot of young immatures, saved a bunch of tiny immature ones and flowers for omelets. That might be the biggest one there. So now the thing is getting them out of here. It's a 1 kilometer walk to the bus stop, and I'll probably just take small immature ones home with me today. And as I said earlier, probably come back with a car because there's no way that I can carry all these out. And to show you what's left after I pulled all the vines. And point of interest for anybody interested in how pumpkin vines do grow their vines into the ground. Early on this vine, this is one of the larger pumpkin vines that had a big pumpkin on it. I had buried one of the vines early on, but you can see that almost every juncture, and even here it's snapped off on that one, almost every juncture roots grew into the ground. So where I am, I don't have to worry about burying the vines to get the pumpkin to grow. Oh, and this one, this is where the pumpkin was, and I had even pulled that out of the ground once before, and it still grew new roots. So Most of these pumpkin vines I shoved back into the swale. The wild boar will come in here this winter and turn this all over a few times, and it'll rot into the swale. I could dig that stuff back up on top of the mound in the spring, hopefully. So I did find one more pumpkin hanging up there, and I left one pumpkin hanging in the tree, just a small one, but to show my friend when they come help me with the car. There's one little pumpkin hanging up there, just about dead center now, and I still have two pumpkins hanging over the dead tree here. They're not very big either, but you can see there's well, just walk you to them. Got that one there and that one there, and I'll just leave these for now. So that is mostly the pumpkin harvest for the year. Just have to come back and pick them up.